Have you ever felt like, out of nowhere, a wave of heat takes over your body? Like a kettle about to whistle inside you? You're not alone. Millions of women experience this every day, and many don't even realize it has a name. Hot flashes. These waves can strike any time, in the middle of a meeting, while driving, or just trying to fall asleep. And suddenly your body heats up like it's on fire, followed by sweat, a racing heart, and sometimes even chills. You try to explain, but no one seems to understand. It affects your body, your mood, your sleep. But don't worry, there's an explanation. In today's video, we're going to understand together what hot flashes are, why they happen, how they relate to perimenopause, and most importantly, what you can do to manage them in a lighter and more conscious way. Welcome to MenoJourney, your space for information and support during the menopause transition. If this topic resonates with you, share this video with other women. Because knowledge transforms, and every woman deserves to go through this stage with more clarity and less suffering. First, an important reminder. Hot flashes are one of the most common symptoms of perimenopause, the transitional stage before actual menopause. You might still be having periods, but your body has already begun to change on the inside. Hormones, especially estrogen, start to fluctuate. And this messes with your brain's thermostat, the hypothalamus, which regulates your body temperature. It's like your body loses track of what's hot and what's cold. And then, boom, the heat rises. A hot flash is a sudden wave of intense heat, usually in the upper body, face, neck, chest. It can last from a few seconds to several minutes. Often it's followed by sweating, flushed skin, and then sudden chills. Imagine a kettle about to whistle. You don't even realize it's been heating, but suddenly the steam bursts out. That ow-s exactly what it ow-s like. Your body is signaling that something is out of balance. Think of your brain like a sensitive thermostat. During perimenopause, the hormones that used to regulate temperature, especially estrogen, start fluctuating. It's like the sensor gets confused, telling your body, "It's hot, now it's cold," and that's why you might sweat even on cold nights. Let's take hot flashes as an example. Many women feel this heat rising from the chest to the head, but this heat doesn't come from the ovaries. It comes from the brain. The drop in estrogen affects the brain's temperature regulation center, especially the hypothalamus. This internal thermometer goes off balance. The brain releases norepinephrine, triggering the heat. That's why when a woman feels like her head is in an oven, the cause is neurological, not gynecological. And it's not just hormones. Stress, alcohol, caffeine, spicy foods, even tight clothes can make things worse. And if you've noticed that in some months the hot flashes feel more intense, and in others they barely show up, you're not imagining things. This often has to do with whether or not you had your period that month. During perimenopause, menstrual cycles become irregular. You might bleed one month, skip the next, or have shorter or heavier periods than usual. We talked about this in the previous episode of the series, about irregular cycles and heavy flow. If you haven't watched it yet, it's worth checking out. The link is in the description. Here's what's happening. In the months when you do menstruate, your hormone fluctuations, especially estrogen, were likely more coordinated, which can temporarily reduce the frequency or intensity of hot flashes. But in the months when you don't bleed, it might mean estrogen levels didn't rise as they used to, or dropped more abruptly. And that imbalance tends to trigger stronger or more frequent hot flashes. So yes, there is a direct link between your cycle patterns, hormonal fluctuations, and how your body responds with symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats. Have you ever had to get out of bed in the middle of the night drenched in sweat? Or avoided hugging someone because you were embarrassed by a sudden heat wave? Maybe you know this scene too well. You go to bed feeling cozy under your blanket, thinking it'll be a peaceful night. But suddenly, you wake up at 2 a.m., sweating like there's an oven inside you. You throw off the covers, fan yourself, maybe turn on a fan, and just like that, your sleep is gone. By the time you manage to fall asleep again, the alarm is ringing. And the day begins with exhaustion, heavy eyes, and that feeling that your body didn't rest at all. At night, when your body is supposed to be resting, these intense heat episodes can interrupt your sleep over and over. You wake up sweaty, maybe change your pajamas or sheets, and try to fall asleep again, often with no success. Why does this happen? It's like your sleep switch is broken. During perimenopause, estrogen, which used to help regulate sleep and cortisol levels, begins to decline. The result? Your brain goes into alert mode in the middle of the night, and it's hard to switch back. These nighttime symptoms, like sweating and waking up repeatedly, are just as common in perimenopause as daytime hot flashes. They directly affect sleep quality and, in turn, your mood, energy, focus, and even immunity. It's like your body is trying to say, something is changing inside. One important note: while hot flashes and night sweats are extremely common during perimenopause, they can continue even after menopause, which is officially diagnosed after 12 consecutive months without a period. That's why seeing a qualified healthcare provider is key to understanding what your body needs and finding the best support for your health and well-being. But the good news is, there are ways to cope. Here are some practical tips that might help. Remember, every body is different, but these can make a difference. Take slow, deep breaths when the heat rises. Conscious breathing calms your nervous system. Avoid triggers like hot drinks, alcohol, caffeine, and stuffy environments. Wear lightweight, layered clothing and keep a small fan in your bag. It may sound silly, but it helps. Focus on your nutrition. Foods rich in phytoestrogens, like flax seeds, fermented soy, and chickpeas, can help naturally balance your hormones. Exercise regularly. It boosts circulation, mood, and helps regulate hormones. And consider professional support. Hormonal or natural therapies may help, but always under medical guidance. If this is happening to you, know this: it's not all in your head. These are real physical signs that deserve care and attention. Hot flashes, night sweats, and disrupted sleep aren't drama. They're symptoms of perimenopause, a profound transition that calls for support and understanding. Now, before we wrap up, let's recap what you've learned today. Hot flashes and night sweats are very common symptoms during perimenopause, but they can continue even after menopause. They are directly connected to the drop and fluctuation of hormones, especially estrogen, which affects the brain's temperature regulation center. The intensity of these symptoms can vary from month to month, often depending on the irregular menstrual cycles typical of this phase. Most importantly, there are ways to manage all of this, with more balance, knowledge, self-care, and, whenever possible, the guidance of a healthcare professional. If this video brought you clarity, share it with other women. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because together, we're diving deep into this journey with information, support, and strength. Understanding what's happening in your body is the first step. You're not exaggerating. You're not alone. And you don't have to go through this in silence. These heat waves, that endless exhaustion, it all has a name, a cause, and it deserves care. When you're informed, you're empowered. You deserve peaceful nights and days filled with energy, joy, and lightness. We're in this journey together. Thank you for being here. See you in the next episode of the Perimenopause Symptoms series.